All right. Welcome everybody to our 5th virtual gardening class today. We have Barbara Howe with us from CalFresh Healthy Living, and she's going to talk with us about the benefits of eggplants and share with us ways that we can cook with eggplants. So I'm personally really excited and have been looking forward to this specific class because I have no idea what to do with eggplants. And I've been hearing that a lot this year with our garden distribution, with people saying that they don't want eggplant because they don't know what to do with it. So I've been telling everybody to tune into this class and learn a little bit more about it. And I hope you'll enjoy it and have something to take home today. So I'm going to just go over our Zoom etiquette as usual. If this is your first Zoom class, as you join, you'll notice that your audio was muted, your microphone, and it's just to eliminate any background noise for other people tuning in, watching. And if you have a question, please feel comfortable to unmute yourself and go ahead and ask your question anytime. Or you may raise your hand. There's a little hand icon at the bottom of your screen on your phone. If you're watching with your phone, you can raise your hand and we'll just go ahead and call on you. Or you can also put a question into the chat box and we can go to those after the presentation is over and cover any questions that you may have. So without further ado, I'll hand this over to Barbara and I'll stop sharing my screen here and I'll let her go ahead and pull her presentation up. Oh, there's Sally. Hi, Sally.
Hi.
Thanks for joining us today.
Oh, well, thanks for having this. I always enjoy these kind of things.
Yeah.
Thanks.
Hi, Cece.
Can you still see everybody, Sarah? I don't want to be jumping on your hellos. So.
Oh, I can. Go ahead anytime you're ready to bring your presentation up. Just saying hi to everybody as I see them.
So what's up? Do you see it?
I don't see it yet.
Okay, what do I have to do?
And you have a double screen, correct?
Yeah, but it's on the main screen.
Maybe stop the screen share and try it again, possibly. There we go. I see Zoom. I'm not seeing the
right. Yeah, no, I'm just going to start again.
Okay.
Yay, technology.
There we go.
See it now?
Yes,
all right.
I do.
Okay, lovely. Well, good morning, everybody. Barbara Howe. I work for the County of Lake Health Services. I am a registered dietitian. And I just want to thank Tribal Health because I really enjoy preparing for these virtual demonstrations. Of course, I would rather be in person and being able to have us all taste a delicious eggplant dish, but hopefully at some time in the future we'll be able to get back to that sort of regular living. Meanwhile, I have 2 videos we'll look at today. The first one is about 5 minutes and she just teaches us how to pick an eggplant and then make a very simple dish with it. And then the second one, man, there's 10 ways. So I learned a lot. So Sarah, you're gonna like this. So, and I just learned, I have about a repertoire of like 5 eggplant dishes. I always grow it in my garden. And then after watching the 10 ways to make eggplant, I wish I had like 6 more plants because now I don't have enough eggplant. So anyway, this is me. So CalFresh Healthy Living. CalFresh is the California name for food stamps. And you'll see the food stamps here, CalFresh Food. California always renames everything, and that can be both good and confusing. So these are, CalFresh Food is food stamps. This is me. I do the nutrition and physical activity promotion that having to do with CalFresh. And CalFresh also does employment training. And then I always just say this to everybody because we're such in a disaster prone area. Anybody can get CalFresh food stamps after a disaster. So that's my CalFresh pitch. This is what I hope you learned today. There's going to be 10 ways to cook eggplant. I'd love you to remember one of them. I think that'll be pretty easy. The nutritional benefits of eggplant. And then all the different kinds of eggplants that are out there. And my favorite thing that I learned preparing for our talk today was, and I've always wondered this, why do they call it eggplant? So that, stay tuned. I don't want to give it away quite yet. I'm going to show you that. And then my pitch for nutrition education, choose MyPlate. If you have not ever been to that website, there is so much amazing information. There's eating well on a budget, how to give vegetables to your kids. I mean, they have 10 tips, all the tip worksheets, that just the plethora of information on healthy eating. So, and then with that, that's really their logo. And I repeat this probably 10 times a day, and I even repeat it to myself, because even if you know something doesn't mean that it's easy for you to do. So every time we want to have half of our plate be fruits and vegetables. And if you can have it be more than that, then that's even better, right? So less grains, less protein, vegetables. Even if you eat more of this, you just always have to have your vegetables, right? It's that simple. I think that's why I really like having a garden, especially now. I did have my first eggplant this week. I put it with tomatoes from my garden and basil from my garden. So it makes me, it's just easier for me to eat this way when I have a garden. I don't really like to go shopping. So anyway, I want to share 2 book resources with you all. This is a really great children's story. If you wanted to teach your children about MyPlate, you can download it from this website. Sarah's going to be sending out this PowerPoint, so you don't need to take notes. It'll be in your inbox. And basically, the little girl kitten has a hard time trying new foods, and the older brother, they make a pact in the family that everybody should just try 2 bites of the new foods. And of course, she's a little adverse to vegetables. And so the story goes that she tries different kinds, and of course she loves them. So we have been reading this before COVID came, and we were in the schools throughout Lake County. We were sharing this with 2nd and 3rd grade teachers. So the more that people know about MyPlate, the better. That's my job anyway. Alrighty, and then the second book is actually one that you will get to have and keep just for my appreciation for you participating today. So Leanne Brown has had this book for about 20 years, but it's never looked so nice. Beautiful photographs of the recipes, and it's written for people on a CalFresh foods or food stamp budget. So eating well on $4 a day. The cookbook is filled with delicious, healthful recipes. I don't know that, especially with now the prices going up in the grocery stores, you know, I feel like I'm on a tighter budget. And so the publisher lets me buy these at their cost. And it's quite charitable that they also then give a second copy to a person who can't afford it. So it's just good for everybody, right? So we get to have healthy recipes. People get to have books for free. And then Sarah will be probably arranging for you all to pick your copy up. All right, so now we're going to dive into eggplants, literally. I just think they're so pretty. I know. There's not that many purple vegetables. Have you noticed? I just want you to pause and think about what other vegetables are purple. There's another way that we teach the kids of having fruits and vegetables, and it's around eating a rainbow. So the only other thing I can think of a purple is a purple potato, which are kind of really fun to cook with. So If you have never seen an eggplant, this is the flowers that come from the plant itself. The plant will grow 3 or 4 or 5 feet. Sometimes I put mine in tomato cages because they'll get that tall. This is probably the most common kind that we find in our grocery stores, and that's called globe. And then here's I believe it's a Japanese eggplant. These with the stripes are called fairy eggplants. And what does this one look like, folks? This is the original eggplant. So I imagine, I think it said 40 or 50 years ago, these were the only kind. So here's a better picture. Ta-da! This is why they call it eggplant.
Wow, that is so cool.
I've been wondering that for decades, so thank you for letting me learn that.
Mind blown.
I know, right? And so I think it might be fun when I'm not preparing virtual food demonstrations. I'm in one of the elementary schools helping them with a school garden. And so I think this would be really fun to find this kind of eggplant and put it in the elementary school garden. So that's my little takeaway from today. So, and then so here's just a little more with the names on it. And, you know, if you care, there are quite a lot of them. So this slide I threw in because I, back in my youth, spent a whole day looking for aubergine. I had no idea what it was. And this was before the internet. So I think I went to 4 different grocery stores because the recipe that I had picked to make a friend for dinner needed aubergine. So aubergine is what the French call eggplant. So is aubergine eggplant? Yes. Is eggplant aubergine? Yes. Is it the same thing? Absolutely yes. So I just didn't want you all to get tricked by that. And then you can tell people that you learned a French word today. And we'll never have a chance to use it outside of culinary things, I believe. All right, so a little bit about the nutrition. The best eggplants have a very taut skin, and we'll learn a little bit more about how to test for ripeness in one of the videos. And they need to be really heavy, especially if we look at the big globe eggplant. It's going to be very heavy, like a full to bursting water balloon. I know the last time you guys all held a water balloon, but that might be a good reason to do that. Vitamin-wise, eggplants are not quite as a super powerhouse as the dark green leafy vegetables, right? So kale, chard, mustard greens, but this is my take-home message. Any vegetable is a good vegetable. So it's good to plant them like other non-starchy vegetables. Eggplant supplies a lot of fiber and a lot of flavor for hardly any calories. So that's what we like our vegetables to do. And I think if you'll try any of the recipes that are coming up in the videos, you will put eggplants on repeat from now through October, because we want to have fruits and vegetables that are in season. And so, as you know, especially you all planted some in your garden, that they'll be coming on now and through October. And if you want them to last, you can even cover them at night. They don't like when it gets below 50 degrees at night. So I've pushed mine into the beginning of December at the end of the season, just by covering with a plastic tarp. White plastic tarp. Okay. So I want to pause and see if there's any questions. Can we do that, Sarah?
Sure, I haven't gotten any questions yet, but if anybody wants to unmute themselves, they're welcome to do so. But I don't see anything in the chat box, and I have no raised hands yet.
Okay, all right. Okay, so the first one, Danny's going to teach us just sort of how to, what to look for when you're buying. And then the most, I'll say controversial, but it's a little heavy of a word. A lot of culinary experts want you to salt the eggplant. So she's going to teach us how to salt and why. And what it does is really releases some of the water in the eggplant. I've done it both ways. Perhaps I'm not sophisticated enough as a culinary chef that I could taste the difference. So when I'm in a hurry, I skip it. and when I'm not in a hurry, I do it. But this will introduce the concept to you. So hopefully my link works. And let me just wanna.
Hey guys, it's Danny, and for today's ingredient 101, hey guys, it's Danny, and for today's ingredient 101, eggplant tends to be a little bit intimidating, so let's break it down so that by the time this video is over, it feels totally approachable. Now, there are a handful of varieties of eggplant out there, but today I'm sticking with...
Looks like the screen is frozen, Barbara. I'm not sure if that's just on my end.
This is the variety that you're going to see most often, and generally speaking, it's the variety that most people are familiar with. Eggplant is a fairly large, pear-shaped veggie, and it has this beautiful, deep, rich purple skin. And then once you cut into it, the flesh is this lovely cream color.
Sorry, you guys.
Speaking, eggplant is
If we stop and start it again.
nutrients, and it is low in calories. So it would be a great addition to any type of diet.
Stand by. Sorry.
Now, eggplant is available at the grocery store all year round. But its prime time is August through October. And remember, guys, when we buy produce during its prime season, pear-shaped veggie, and it has this beautiful, deep, rich purple skin. And then once you cut into it, the flesh is this lovely cream color. Nutritionally speaking, eggplant is high in fiber, packed with nutrients, and it is low in calories. So it would be a great addition to any type of diet. Now, eggplant is available at the grocery store all year round, but its prime time is August through October. And remember, guys, when we buy produce during its prime season, we get the best cost, the highest nutritional value, and most importantly, the best flavor. Now, when you're shopping for eggplant, you want it to feel a little bit heavy for its size, and it should have a nice, shiny, even skin. No bruising or discoloration going on, right? Then you're gonna see this green cap on top, and if it's really fresh, it'll even have a green stem. Wanna know if your eggplant's ripe? Just take your finger and gently push onto the skin. If it bounces back, then you know it's ripe. If the indentation stays there, it's gonna need a few more days. When you're ready to store it, all you need to do is wrap it tightly in a plastic bag and then pop it in the fridge. This way, when you're ready to use it, it will be ready for you. Now, when you're ready to use your eggplant, first thing you're gonna do is give it a good rinse under some cold water. Now, conventionally grown eggplants have a wax on them to give them a longer shelf life, but organic eggplants do not. So if you don't have an organic eggplant, you may want to peel off the skin. But if you don't have to, you don't want to, because this skin is packed with nutrients. When you're ready to cut into your eggplant, you're just going to lay it on the cutting board and then slice off both ends. Then you just want to cut it into about 1/4 to 1/2 inch slices. Now, eggplant holds a lot of water, and if you cook it as is, it can be a little bit tough or a little bit bitter. So the secret to a nice, sweet, creamy, nutty eggplant is salting. So once you've got your eggplant all laid out, you just want to sprinkle each piece with a little bit of kosher salt. Then you're going to lay them down into your colander, salt side down, sprinkle the opposite side, and pile them up, doing the same thing as you go. Once you've got all of your eggplant salted in the colander, just put the colander over a bowl to catch the water and place something nice and heavy right over the top. A teapot works perfectly. The salt helps to draw the excess moisture out of the eggplant, and the teapot helps to squish it all out. So you can leave it here anywhere from a 1/2 hour to an 1.5 hours, depending on how much time you have. Once the time has passed, you're going to see that there's going to be a little bit of water at the bottom of your bowl. That's what came out of the eggplant. And the slices are going to be thinner. All that water came out of them. Then I like to lay them onto a kitchen towel just to pat off any excess moisture on the skin, and they are ready to go. Now, eggplant slices are great if you wanted to make an eggplant parmesan or if you threw them on the grill. But if I'm going to saute them or roast them, what I usually do is pile them up and cut them into a 1-inch dice. One of my favorite quick ways to make eggplant is to saute it with some onions and garlic And then when it's done, I sprinkle it with fresh mint and feta cheese. The one thing you want to keep in mind when you're working with eggplant is that eggplant, it's like a big sponge. So I like to go light on the oil because as much oil as you give it, it's going to absorb. Try subbing in a little bit of broth instead. So now that you guys know what to do with eggplant, get in your kitchens and come up with some clean and delicious eggplant recipes of your own. But if you're feeling stuck, no worries, just check out DannySpees.com. I'm Danny Spees, and I'll see you next time with another Ingredient 101. And if it's really fresh, it'll even have a green stem. Apparently mine's not super fresh.
Okay. Okay, perfect. She's better without me in there, that's why.
Oh, nothing sticky or hard. Okay, right side.
Perfect.
All right, buddy, we'll see you.
Thank you. Are they scheduling my appointment now or should I call?
You know what, honey, I'll just
Okay.
So there's a lot of ideas in there, isn't there? It goes on for quite a while, but I was just blown away by keeping it whole and then stuffing it inside itself like, you know, like a fan. So I'd never seen that before. So it's very common, the Mediterranean diet, keep eggplant, so the ground beef, the tomatoes, the basil, the feta, the mozzarella, you could see that if you just had some of any of that and how do I want to say this? Cut up the eggplant and cook it in any of those manners. What I liked about the 10 ways is it just shows you the variety, right? So hopefully you guys got some ideas from those videos. And I'm also Sarah's gonna send out a recipe for chickpea and eggplant salad. It's one that's just a little easier. Some of these are more complicated for me. I mean, I'm not gonna make them after work, right? After a long day of work. And so their eggplant and chickpea is a much simpler recipe. So anyway, lastly, I'd like to just think with me about what you might like to learn at our next time together. which is September 4th for me. So you have a different series before me. I'm in 2 weeks, but if you have an ideas now for me, or you can just let Sarah know.
Yeah,
All right.
if you want to put it in the chat box if they have a certain vegetable or fruit they want to learn a little bit more about, that would be great. We're always open to hearing recommendations on that.
Great. Anyway, all right. So that's all I had planned to share. So I need to stop sharing and give it back to you.
Sure. That way maybe we could just all see each other as we're talking. If there's any questions here, I'll turn my video on so I'm not hidden. Hopefully everyone can understand me through my mask. Actually, we have our new youth lifestyle coach here that just started this week, Angie DeMaria. So she may be working with some of you or some of your children, and so she's joining us on our garden class today. And I think what I learned today is that I need to hire a personal chef.
Yeah, right. Aren't you hungry now? Now I like for some reason I want like one of those delicious eggplant recipes, right? So
yes,
just serve it right now to me, right? With the dripping mozzarella and the Parmesan.
those looked amazing. And if somebody wanted to watch that video again, if there's something that really stood out, like I know there's a few that I was like, ooh, and it's like, you're so much, I kind of forgot exactly what they were. I can forward those links to you. I got a couple emails from Kim and Sally. So if anybody else wants this presentation and recipes forwarded to them and they want to set up a time to get their free book, the Good Eats book, we can set that up for you. You can pick that up at the
garden.
Mail that out. So some people said there's kohlrabi. Kim, do you want to elaborate on that? You can go ahead and unmute.
Well, just some recipes for kohlrabi. I know how to cook it in just really basic ways, but the eggplant recipes were just so inspiring. I want to use eggplant all the time now. So ideas to what to do with kohlrabi besides just roasting it or eating it raw in a salad.
Yeah, I was surprised how versatile it was. Just wow.
Right.
I have eggplant parmesan. That was it. There's so much other stuff you can do, like the stuffed eggplant and the eggplant boats. That's awesome. Okay, so kohlrabi, and then Sonia put okra.
Oh, okay.
That actually is another one that people tend to not want to take home from our garden because they're not sure how to cook it.
Great. I know nothing about either of those. So that'll make it more fun for me. Right. I appreciate your suggestions.
Yeah, that's my problem with my children too. I don't know how to cook it for them to make them want it.
Mm-hmm.
I think cheese is the answer to everything, but that's not healthy. And I don't know how that works, but I don't know how to cook it. That's why I really don't.
Nice.
I eat it like Sonia though. When it was garden class, I'll take it off the vine like how Sonia does and just munch it right there in garden class. But can't do that now.
Yep. She gave you a thumbs up, Cece. Sonia did. She gave you. That's funny because Angie also thought the same thing, that cheese is the answer to everything.
Yes, it is the answer, Cece. No, I'm just kidding.
It's either cheese or butter. It makes it better.
So Miss Rachel put citrus as one also.
Citrus?
Yes, anything citrus.
Okay. All right. We're running with ideas now.
We did have an Alaskan ceviche one time, which was made with grapefruit juice. That was a really good one we did in the garden for a food demo.
Oh, interesting. Okay.
Okay. All right. Does anybody have any? Oh, someone else put avocado. More stuff with avocado.
Nice. Great. Okay, so maybe the next class we'll do 2 or 3 different kinds of food, just to mix it up a little bit. We'll see. Yeah.
Okay.
So.
And then I did have somebody said that they had heard or they have read that some people say nightshade plants are not healthy to eat. And I didn't know if she's still on the call. Let me see if she was still on here. She is still on, and I don't know if she can hear me. If she wanted to elaborate on that, she's our pharmacist here. So I could find out some more information about that if she's not on and get back to everybody. Oh, eggplant or zucchini is great roasted with a miso spread, Diane says. Slice and put miso on it. Good probiotic, but salty. Diane, are you able to speak a little bit about the nightshade plants that you were saying you heard may not be good to eat? Not sure if she's able to. Okay, she said she cannot unmute, but she heard that they have lectins and are not so good if you have inflammation. So maybe if you have arthritis, something that you have, you know, chronic inflammation, and can be problematic for some with an autoimmune issue too.
That probably is true. That's probably true. So let me do a little homework, and then I'll start the class next time with more information about nightshade and autoimmunity.
Okay, great.
That sound okay?
And I can talk
Right.
more with Diane offline too.
Maybe she could present a little bit. So I don't mind sharing my time. Nice. Oh, and Cece, I wanted to chat with you. I don't know how old your kids are, but sometimes if you can actually give them part of the chore in cooking, they'll be happier because they've actually, you know, done something that's like adult-like, and, you know, they'll be proud of themselves. And
Oh,
so,
my daughter, she's in the kitchen all the time. She makes us breakfast, and my daughter's a real big help. So,
oh, nice then.
and they like the zucchini. Like we got a veggie bag last week, and she whipped up all the zucchini, all the spaghetti squash, and she's seen the little eggplant we did have, and she was like, "What is this, Mom?" You know. And I was like,
Oh,
"Well,
good.
Google something." You know, I was like, "Google something and figure it out." You know, play with it.
Yeah.
So
Nice.
I'm gonna need that link too to get the, what is it, the ingredients or the recipes for the eggplant.
Sure, and I have your email, Cece.
Yeah. Yeah.
Miss Rachel, there's another phone number on the line. I'm not sure who that is, but Miss Rachel, if you wanted to receive this recording or the link or any additional information, if you want to put your email in the chat box, we can email that to you. And then also, if everybody could maybe just raise their hand, either the hand icon or on the screen, if you want to receive that book that Barbara is graciously providing everybody that joins the virtual class. All right, I got 1, 2.
I probably already have a copy, but I'll take it.
3. I don't think you do. This is something new, but you never know. 4.
I also found a free copy of the PDF version of the cookbook on her website. So if anybody prefers electronic.
Oh, and it's free?
It's free. It's got color pictures. I don't know if you can see my phone here.
Yeah. Okay, nice. Oh, that's, so thanks for teaching me that, Kim.
Yeah,
Nice.
it's, if you go to her website and then /cookbooks, and
Okay.
the book Good and Cheap comes up, and then it gives you options of different ways to get access to it.
Nice. Oh, great.
Thank
Awesome.
you.
I love this. I learn as much as I'm teaching, maybe even more. So.
Okay, great. And so I'll email you all that do want to receive the hard copy, and I'll get that to you. We'll schedule a way to get that to you all. I did start cooking out of it too, because I also have a copy. So I've made a couple things out of it, and they're good. All right. If there's no more questions, thank you, Rachel. I just got your email. If there's no more questions, you can watch this recording on our YouTube channel, and I'll pull up our next garden class schedule so you all can see. It's there every other Friday. And I'll probably just go to, let me see here. Hold on a second. I'm going to pull up this schedule here. And here we go. My computer's a little slow here. Screen share. All right, can you all see that?
Yeah.
So we have our next class is going to be August 21st. And we're going to have Sarah Ryan. She's the EPA director at Big Valley. And she's going to talk with us about the importance of our pollinator plants. And then we'll have Barbara come back September 4th, and she'll have from one of these today. She'll be discussing with us.
Right, or all of them. We'll see.
Yeah. And you just use the same exact link you used today to join all the other classes. They're all the same Zoom link. All right, everybody.
Well, thank you, everybody. It's a pleasure.
Miss Rachel has a question. She has her hand raised.
Okay.
Go ahead, Rachel. Ask her to unmute. She may not be able to unmute herself.
I just forgot to put the hand down. Sorry.
Okay. Okay. So no more questions? All right. All right. Well, thank you everybody for joining us, and we'll hopefully see you for the next gardening class with Sarah Wright.
All right.
Thank you, Sarah.
Okay. Thank you, Sarah. Thank you, everybody. All right. Happy egg planting. All right. Bye.